Hello everyone, I'm Marlene Moore. Welcome to our half hour of the Back to Basics piano method. This is a teacher training group for teachers who are already established, for advanced pianists, as well as new teachers who have just started. The Back to Basics piano method is created by me, and the ideals of this program are love, achievement, freedom, and fun. For the teacher, for the parent, and hopefully for the student. All of my books can be purchased from J.W. Pepper, and you will also find this printed outside after you leave the piece on YouTube. jwpepper.com. This is my publisher. All of my books are published by this company. Last time, by the way, before I start, I've cut my head off on purpose today because you need to see here. This is where we're focusing here. I'm going to finish the rote pieces in book 4, and then we're going to go on after that to do a little bit of review on technique at this level, and I'll explain about that later on. I believe we left off at row, row, row your boat. As you know, at this level, the pieces are still divided into sight pieces and rote pieces. Sight pieces, they pretty much do on their own. They should be able to read them at this level. If not, they have other books, which I've mentioned before, to do with Back to Basics, such as the Playwright book. That certainly helps with sight reading if you have a student who is not very good at sight reading. And the other part is that we're teaching rote pieces, and those are pieces that are learned by ear. At this stage, book 4, the children should be able to start reading the rote pieces as well as the teacher showing them every step. So, as I said last time, book 4 is really an in-between stage between primary and intermediate. I would call book 5 intermediate. Book 4 is kind of a high primary or low intermediate. Depending on the student, of course, we can't categorize everything so exactly. There are always exceptions. So teach to the ability of the child, not what is necessarily written in the book. So we left off at row, row, row your boat, which I'm going to play. I'm using my electronic piano today just because I can get a little better view. You can get a little better view, hopefully, of my hands. Lovely little piece going from C major into F major. So at this point we have really mastered C major. We've mastered the C major triads. Solid and broken. We have mastered that in the left hand as well. Solid triads and broken. really clever children might be able to put that hands together, but it's not expected. At this level, it should be really hands separately. I'm a believer in doing scales hands separately for a long time, and then when you do introduce hands together, to do them contrary motion. I don't know if that's what you believe or not. It seems to work for me. So how would we teach row, row, row your boat? Children know this tune, so it's not that hard. We've got a walking bass in the left hand. I think I might teach that first. I would teach that first, and then the right hand. Tell them what a walking bass is. It's going walk, 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 or walk right down now, or down the hill and down the hill, and whatever words work for you. I would teach the triplets at the beginning as well. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So get them nice and even. That's the hardest part, isn't it? And you can't help but play them staccato, at least detached. Don't forget the accent. 1. Hear that? The 1 each time. 1, 1, 1. Once more. That accent is important. It's not marked there, and it maybe should be. But we know that the first beat of any group of triplets is usually you push down a little harder. So when they've got that really good together, excuse me. Can't talk and do at the same time. That's one of my weaker points. I cannot talk and do. So we'll talk and then do. How's that? Yes, teach this first. And then together. You could play this part. And then they could do that. Then teach your F major scale if you haven't already. It should have been taught before now. Triads, broken, F major, so triad, solid, and broken. Same here, left hand, and then play this part. Teach this piece with the stop, think, go idea. I teach it distinctly as C major on one line and F major on the other line. Okay, the next one is an old favorite, This Old Man. Like this one. This is a sight piece. They already know Alberti. They know Alberti very well. So you could have the child do the Alberti bass part and you do the right hand, have a little duet. It usually slides together quite easily. I'm not going to dwell on that one. A lot of teachers have actually taught that one many times. Happy birthday. Everybody loves happy birthday. Here are the chords, which are tricky. Yeah, I don't let them do the right hand until they know all of those chords. And I don't give them names like major thirds or diminished whatever. So I don't. I have them memorize where their fingers go. This is also a sight piece, but I show them in a rote fashion where those fingers go. So that's the deal with me. You don't get to play the happy birthday right hand until you know the chords in your left hand. And you know they really work hard to do that. If they're not familiar with chords yet, do this separately. Can you do this one? And then this. That way. Have them lift their hands for chords. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3. So that they're not doing this. That's sloppy playing. You don't want to teach children how to play sloppily. You've got to lift the hand up at the right time, huh? Beethoven, here we go. Beethoven's song from the Ninth Symphony, Ode to Joy. Little bit of a ritardando there at the end if you wish. We are in G major. They should know all of the chords. Solid, broken. I think I've told you I never myself play any piece at my level without playing the scale and the chords first. It kind of tunes up my brain, and I recommend that for yourself and for the children. Okay, same thing here, left hand first. And once they've seen that, they're seeing that it's going 5 and 1, 4 and 1, 3 and 1, 2 and 1. Neato. So, one line at a time, teaching left hand first, because everybody knows the tune to this piece, and they've had it in the other books as well. You can use stop, think, go for this piece if you wish, but it usually works out without it too. Stop, think, go is never the wrong way. It's just one way. Sailing in the Moonlight. Moving to F major. Same idea. Teach all of the chords first, moving from here to here. I think there's only 3 chords in this, and it moves into F major, and you've got the same idea. So they get to put the right hand in after they know where to put the left hand chords. And don't forget, this is treble clef, and it's all moved into, the left hand is in treble clef as well. And they should be able to move naturally to F major if they've been practicing their scale of F major. Also, if they have the book called Making Melodies, they learn how to put the chords in the right places, and for the the correct key each time. Brahms Lullaby. I'm going to put a little pedal into this one. You can too if you like. I always think it would be so nice if this piece was also written up here. I regret that I didn't put a repeat one octave higher because it sounds so finished when you do it that way. Do you agree? I like it. You can do it or not do it. For a recital piece, it's a nice idea. Have it all down here and then moving the right hand up to here. That works good. Don't forget, they've had this Brahms Lullaby in their other book. So this is just putting the I love you, you love me left hand with it. And they usually take to that like a duck in water. That's not a big progression. And it's a lovely way to end the book. That plus they're writing their own song. Did you notice at the end of each book it says my song right before the certificate? Is usually right there. And I really think that's important for them to have that opportunity to write their own song, sort of their graduation happy song, their celebratory song. This one is like this. First measure, and at the last measure it's this in 4/4 time. They get to fill in the rest of it, and that's fun. Then we have the certificate, and that's all done for book 4. You will need book 5, so make sure that you send for Back to Basics book 5. You're going to need that soon. I just wanted to take a few minutes to discuss technique. And the reason for this is I have discovered from my groups on Facebook that an awful lot of teachers and intermediate pianists, shall we say, do not know anything about dominant sevenths or chord progressions or scales. And I thought I'd take a few minutes to go over that because maybe you weren't taught that. Now, for those of you who have had all of this, this will be a bit boring, but who knows, maybe you'll learn something. I'm taking this from my handy dandy brown book, which has all of the scales, chords, and arpeggios that you would ever want to have. I'm going to discuss C major a little bit. So, at this point, for yourself, this is not for the students, but for yourself, you should be doing 4 octaves. With the 4-chord cadence at the end. Get yourself a good scales, chords, and arpeggios book because you're going to need it. You're expected to teach this. So if you're expected to teach it, you really need to know it very, very well. Contrary motion. It says scales separated by a third, but you don't have to know that at this time. Separated by a sixth, you don't need to know yet. Double thirds is actually, in Canada, it's considered ARCT level work. Very good exercise. If you can't do the scale, do only that much. You don't have to have it together, because you usually only find double thirds in one hand in any piece. Okay, you don't teach double thirds until you get a really, really advanced student, unless they're just going to do something like this. Okay, triads. Solid. Broken. Left hand. Solid. Broken. The fingering for triads is always, always, always the middle finger, 3, 2, 3, 3. 3, 2, 3. Left hand is always, always, always 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3. Hands together. Broken. Next is 4-note forms. What are 4-note forms? Well, they are triads with a hat at the end. The hat being the same one that is the C. C-E-G with a C on the top to use your baby finger for. Fingering, 3, the one in the middle, 3, 4, 4, 3. 4, 4, 3. Broken. Same in the left hand. Same idea. Arpeggios. You need to teach arpeggios probably by book 5. So let's make sure that we're not doing the old 1, 2, 3 elbow. 1, 2, 3, thumb under, slide. This is what you'll get in the beginning. 1, 2, 3, elbow. This is wrong. Really, really terrible. 1, 2, slide the third finger and the thumb underneath the hand. Do you see where I am? Thumb underneath the hand. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Swivel the third as far as you can as the thumb is under the hand. That's actually a little rhyme. Swivel the 3 as far as you can while you tuck the thumb under the hand. You can write that down if you like. Because when you're going fast, you've got to move that. There's no time for the elbow to get in there. The elbow goes along for the ride, but it doesn't go jutting out like that. Okay, for yourself, you can do the first and second inversion of the arpeggio. You can do that. First inversion, second inversion. For students at this level, no. But by the time they get to book 10, you might want to work on those. We're only as good as our technique, you know. Our musicality is important. Our talent is important. Our dedication is important. But right at the top, which helps us to not make a mistake, that's the technique. What is our technique? Dominant sevenths. Okay, quickly, can you tell me, what is the dominant seventh of C major? Over 1/2 of my one group had this question wrong on the introductory questionnaire. It is not C, E, G, B flat. It's not that. That's called a C7th. But in classical piano, we want the dominant seventh of the scale of C major. How do we get there? Well, we count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because that is the dominant. And now we're going in thirds to find the seventh. So we're landing on G, B, D, F. That's where we're at right there. Okay, so counting. Tonic. Up to subdominant. Up to dominant. Put your thumb on the dominant, which is the 5th. The dominant is always the 5th key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And go up that way. Okay, and broken. Very important. These are things that get left out because when we get lazy, we only play scales. We forget about these things like dominant sevenths and so on. And then there's the dominant seventh arpeggios. Don't forget about those. Isn't that beautiful? And there's the inversions of those too, if you wish. Okay, next time I'm going to go through A minor, which is the relative minor of C major, and talk about diminished sevenths and things like that. For those of you who know all of this and you have graduated from a conservatory or a music program in a university, good for you. Not everybody has, and that's okay. You don't have to graduate from a university program to be a good piano teacher, but you do need to have good technique. You need to know your theory, and you need to do it every day to apply that so that you can teach it. Okay? Good. Well, we covered quite a bit today. We really did. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised that I didn't go over the half hour today. If you have questions, please ask me, either on YouTube or on one of the groups. My groups that I administer are called Performing Without Fear. You can find it easily on Facebook, and that's about performers who are wanting some help with stage fright, better known as performance anxiety. My other group is called Back to Basics Piano Teachers. It is only for teachers and for advanced students who wish to become piano teachers, who hopefully know all of their technique. Okay, so hope to see you on Facebook on one of the groups. If not, and if you have questions or comments, please leave them on YouTube. Okay, it was lovely having you here again today. I enjoy doing this so much, and bye for now.